Hello, namaste, it's Lonnie. How are you today? I get messages from my guides and angels, and that's what I do here on my channel and expand upon those messages. Well, today they encouraged me. They didn't give me a word. They encouraged me to talk about the city that I live in and why I love it so much. That's Kansas City. I was excited to do this. It was kind of last minute. Wasn't planning on doing a video today. My hair's still wet, about to go to work. Anyway, so I'm getting this giving this message to you about Kansas City and how amazing Kansas City is. And it's not just because we have a kick-ass football team. We have the Royals and Sporting KC. We have other great sporting teams. It's more than this. Kansas City has some amazing energy. And it's kind of interesting how it is a center of so many things that I love. Like this is my art studio and my spirit shack. So like I meditate, I give readings here. I have a 50 acres Milo Farm Spiritual Retreat Center just on the east side of Kansas City, on the Missouri side. So I live here, and I love art, and I love music. You see my drums. We have drum circles here. I love to see live bands. Saw some amazing music this year. But Kansas City is a hubbub of those things. So art, for instance, we have the Kansas City Art Institute here. We have a lot of creative juices in this area. And the music side, there's we are known. Charlie Parker spent a lot of time in Kansas City, so we have a jazz section. On the art side, we have a writer. Hemingway spent time here. The famous Walt Disney, he had his first art studio here. Hemingway and Walt Disney worked for papers in Kansas City. So it's a place that inspires a lot of creativity, and it's kind of the start of those things, of those very famous creative artists, and they went and excelled other places. So this is like the start of that juice. There's a lot of creative beginning energy here. So that, that's part of the history. They have, I mentioned that Milo Farm's on the Missouri side. I grew up on the Kansas side. So Kansas City has a state line down the middle. And a lot of people think that Kansas City is on the Kansas side. Well, yes, there is a Kansas City on the Kansas side. And there's a Kansas City, Missouri that's on the Missouri side. And that's where the Chiefs Stadium is. That's where our biggest downtown is, our Performing Arts Center. Speaking of the art areas, we have the Crossroads, which has Art District, which has First Fridays, amazing galleries, amazing artists. We have musicians on each corner, things like that. So so the Missouri side is the bigger side. I grew up on the Kansas side in the suburbs. It's a nice area. When I went off to college, I came back and I wanted to live on the Missouri side. I strongly love the Missouri side. There's a lot of great lakes here, a lot of diverse population on the Missouri side. But anyway, Kansas City encompasses Kansas and Missouri. So there's a state line down the middle. Then there's also the Missouri River that goes through the middle of it as well. So there's also a division of like, do you live north of the river or do you live south of the river? So the river is the Missouri River. And just so you know, the Missouri River is the longest river in the United States. It starts clear up in the mountains of Montana, flows through several northern states, and then dumps into the Mississippi in St. Louis. So we have the Missouri River cutting Kansas City north-south, and then the state line cuts it east and west. So anyway, besides all these things, besides the history and the background, the creative juices, there's also the cost of living here is wonderful. So I love to travel. So to have this as the home base rocks. We have a new airport. I can drive. I just finished my 50th state. I did the 50th state challenge. And I went to North Dakota this weekend, and that was my 50th state. I got that done. Just didn't take that long. It's a day's trip. So you're in Kansas City, here on this alm symbol. It's a day's trip to Denver to the west, Minneapolis to the north, Chicago to the east, and Dallas to the south. It's a day's trip, which is like 9 hours or less to get to any of those cool places. And you can still live here where the cost of living is half of what it is in Denver and a third of what it is in probably San Francisco. So you can live here and you have that extra money and you can travel. So like, and also flying. Like, so I went to Seattle 2 months ago. So just went to Seattle, and that was just a 3-hour flight. So like, it's a 2 to 3 hour flight to the edges. Well, I'm not counting Alaska and Hawaii, but to the edges of the United States. So you can home base here, have a mortgage or rent that's minimal, and use that money to travel and still have this wonderful protective spot in the middle of the country. It's called the heartland. We are exactly, we are the heart chakra. Kansas City is the heart chakra. If you look at the United States, north-south or east-west, we are the heart chakra of the United States. Ley lines. Here I'm the spiritual one, right? So there's so many ley lines that run across and diverge in Kansas City. So it also has that energy. It's been known as the key, the opening, portals. You know, it's a place that has it all. So I love the people here. The people are cool. They're humble. They're loving. It's like this small town, but have all the amenities of a big town. You know, we get the Broadway shows. We have like great artists. We have great football teams. I keep bringing that up. This city rocks. All right, that's all. I'm on my soapbox. I just want to say, I love you. I love my town, Kansas City. I love my little farm, 50 acres in Jackson County, where Kansas City, Missouri is. I love life, and I thank you for joining me. Namaste. And this is a little subject I'm not used to talking about. I usually get messages from spirit guides and angels and expand upon those, but I'm expanding upon why Kansas City is such a cool place to live and to visit. So, love you. Till later. Namaste.